Panagdait sa tanan, and welcome back to Contemporary Philippine Arts from the Regions. For our new lesson, Lesson 9, our topic is all about contemporary art forms based on elements and principles. This is just a part 1 because the continuation will be discussed next meeting. Let us first discuss the elements of art. Starting with defining element. Element refers to a separate part of something. So therefore, the elements of art refers to the individual structure of the artwork itself, such as the line, the form, the color, and the texture. Basically, the following are just the basic elements in a certain artwork. For example, kung sa drawing, di ba sa drawing na amang gyud na si line, naapo na si form, si color, o si texture. For us to easily understand, let us describe or define each of them. Line stands for a visible path traced by a moving point. It is basically the line itself in our drawing or painting. Form, it is of the figures in 3 dimension. So, we are referring here to artworks aside from visual arts. Ang visual art magod is 2 dimensional. So, form refers to figures that is in 3 dimensional. Color is the product of light reflected of objects. So, this is primarily the definition of color. But anyway, we already know what color means. It and we already know kung sa itong mga examples sa color, no? And the color makes the artwork more beautiful and presentable. Texture refers to the surface, the characteristics of the surface. If the surface is rough, smooth, and so on. So again, the following are the different elements of art. Elements meaning these are some part of an artwork, important parts of an artwork. The line, form, color, or texture. Form is actually for three-dimensional, no? Dili siya for visual art. But anyway, if we want to relate an element sa visual art such as drawing and painting, siguro dili ta mag-proceed we will be having another element. So kung si form three-dimensional siya, naputay for two-dimensional. That is ang tawag niya kay shape. So take note na lang. So si form for three-dimensional artwork and for two-dimensional artwork we have shape. Next, we have the elements and principles of contemporary art. So, appropriation, performance, space, and hybridity. In this lesson, we'll only be discussing appropriation. So, it is the process of making new content by taking from another source or pre-existing image. So, to appropriate is to borrow. So, unsa may pasabot ani? So, appropriation comes from its root word, no? Appropriate. So, meaning, it is also stated here the process of making new content by taking from another source or pre-existing image. So, appropriation is basically recreating an old artwork. So, it is mentioned here to appropriate is to borrow. You are going to borrow an existing artwork and then you will just recreate it and add some modification that will make that artwork nga kuan it will make it appropriate to our generation today. To make it clear, let us proceed to the example. So we have here two pictures. The first one is the original nga painting, which is the Scream, and then the second picture we have a recreation of this original painting, and then in this recreation we have so the same ra ang kuano content, but the difference is lahi ato ang subject. We have our main subject there is character sa The Simpsons. So this is the example of appropriation. We are going to recreate an existing artwork, himo otro i-copy nato siya or i-borrow, and then we'll make it appropriate to our generation today. So kaning gidungag niya or giusab niya sa painting nga The Scream is girelate niya sa tuang century today or sa tong generation. Iyang gi-appeal iyang gipulihan ang main character, gihimo niya katong sa The Simpsons. Another example is we have Mona Lisa. I'm very sure that you're familiar or have seen many versions of Mona Lisa. Anyway, Even though daghan kay taglain-laing version ni Mona Lisa, we still know no kung unsa tong original. Kabalog yapon ta sa exact image sa original, and the following are just some of the recreations of the artwork nga Mona Lisa. So gitawag siya appropriation again because you are going to borrow an existing artwork or something that belongs to the past, imong i-recreate, and you will make it relatable sa generation karon, or making it appropriate to our generation today. The next one is Jose Rizal. So naman gyud tay image ni Jose Rizal, exact photo ni Jose Rizal. So dili lang limited ang appropriation to recreating or borrowing paintings and drawings. We can also borrow images of people living in the past. In our example here, we are using the picture or the image of Jose Rizal, and we are making it appropriate to our generation today. For example, he is now wearing a sunglass, which is not existing or not appropriate sa ilahang time sa una. That's why medyo funny siya lang tawon sa tuang part. And aside ana, we can also notice nga ang picture niya is naa sa t-shirt, where in fact in their generation dili pa uso ang printed t-shirt sa una. So that is also one way of making appropriation. So that is all for our discussion today. Very short ra kay siya nga discussion, no? That is because we'll be having a quite difficult, not difficult, but time consuming activity. So be sure to answer the activity after viewing this lesson. I hope to see you again next meeting.